we're at a really exciting and important time in mental health.
If organisations want to be really recovery focused in their approach, then there are certain challenges that we need to think about.
When it comes to service users, the last thing they want is to be labelled or stigmatised.
SLaM Recovery College offers free courses and workshops for people who use mental health services within South London and Maudsley NHS Foundation Trust. You're taught by a peer recovery trainer, that's a person who's got lived experience of mental ill health or distress, alongside somebody who's usually a health professional working for SLaM or King's Health Partners, and they team up and they develop and then deliver courses together.
When I came to SLaM first, when I rocked up on the doors of SLaM, became a service user, I was a broken human being. I didn't believe there was a future for me. I didn't believe there was a version of the world that, you know, had a place for me in it anymore. And it was only when I first started volunteering that my recovery began, really. So if you were to ask me, you know, what the college means to me, then one thing above all, it means hope.
It's been a long germination, really. I mean, I was very interested in the recovery journeys of individual people, and from that spurred a whole lot of work which I was involved in, and something that we wanted to really take up was this idea of a recovery education centre, or by recovery college by another name. And so with the help of Dr. David Blasey, who's head of grants with the charity, Nash Mamori, who's the service user representative and vice chair of the Social Inclusion Recovery Board, of which I chair, Tony, who was a service user volunteer at the time, and David. And it was just the four of us really started this idea of a recovery college for SLaM.
I was introduced to Gabriel, and through our working relationship, we picked up the recovery college. Gabriel was so passionate about it, felt the need to have it. I've been very, very well supported with education. That's helped my recovery. I was passionate about it, and we kicked off from there. When I was volunteering as a service user, it was very difficult for me to take feedback. And I remember my supervisor, for some reason, managed to convince me to go on a course. I realized that the more I was exposed to learning and education, the more I learned about myself and understood some of my challenges. And that's when I was able to kind of start addressing them and accepting the help that was out there. There was always help, but I just was never keen on accessing that help and accepting it. But education kind of benefited me in a way where I realized the need to work on myself.
It's been quite interesting because the recovery college is all about co-production. And that often means within the classroom. So you get, you know, a member of staff with some expertise and a person with lived experience with an expertise, and they come together and train together. But what I've been very struck by and what we've really worked hard on is to ensure that there's co-production at every level within the recovery college activity. So right from the start, I didn't do any presentation or any kind of going around and getting people interested in the recovery college without having, particularly Nash actually, come with me. And it was like, because it was almost like the dynamic duo. So we'd go along and we'd present together. So I think what's been quite important is that the strategic focus of getting the recovery college off the ground and that continuing has been really important, that it's co-produced.
The look on the face of someone, feeling sick, so nausea.
I first heard of the college through one of my occupational therapists, so that was kind of my foot into the door, as it were. And I was kind of given some training as to how to develop a course and how to teach a course as well. And I was introduced to my co-trainer.
Now on the back of the wall you can see what should be a brain.
My name's Pauline Edwards, and I am a peer recovery trainer with Recovery College. I know that organisations have duties to perform, but I think this is actually giving them a picture into the possibilities and a different way of working.
With a co-trainer, she was telling me what to do most of the time and things, so it was it was brilliant because we were working together in a way that actually I've tried to replicate with my patients, because actually I felt empowered to be able to teach in a better way because I was learning from her.
For service users who are usually in that relationship with the person working with them, it's actually humanising the clinicians. Clinicians aren't this sort of frightening people that you have to answer to, they're just people.
So we've got dodgy breathing, yeah? So that's good, I love that, I actually love that.
I learned from you.
We communicate about it.
Yeah.
We sort of decide what support, if any, that the person needs,
Yeah.
and just make sure that they're included as much as possible and can sort of benefit. And that's something we do together.
Yeah.
Your tea, your Coke.
It's a very empowering environment because we're both seen as equals. So we have good contributions to bring from different angles.
I really enjoy working with Gillian because it's really good to have that support on that level of real, true empathic understanding of what other people are going through, like our students. And actually just to watch the connection students have with Gillian, it's great to see actually.
When I do longer courses with people, and say for 5 or 6 weeks, they completely change, and then I see some students coming on other courses and they're actually moving forward in their lives. They've got good eye contact, they're engaging, they're socialising, and they're supporting one another.
As a trainer and a facilitator, actually what they feed back to us and some of the things that they say are just so powerful, and you just think, you couldn't read that in a textbook. You can only find that in a classroom environment that's got students who have their own experience, whether it's as practitioners, carers, or people with lived experience, actually being able to feedback. And it's just incredible that every day I'm learning from a job that I'm teaching in.
I don't see how you can work in mental health without the service user experience. I think this idea that there are experts in theoretical models, I don't think it's a one-dimensional view, and I don't think that's the way to work, because mental health is all about relationships and understanding, and you can do that really beautifully when working together.
I feel personally, as a proud mental health service user, I feel valued, I feel cherished. I've been given the opportunity to grow personally and learn lots of skills, facilitation skills that would not have been easy for me to get anywhere else.
There are 3 elements to the co-production that goes on in the classroom. There are the peer trainers with lived experience, there are the practitioner trainers with the professional expertise, and crucially the third element is the students and what experiences and knowledge and wisdom they bring into the mix.
The Recovery College has helped me no end. It's been a godsend to me. I've been so isolated over the years and I really didn't know what was really happening to me. I was frightened. I'd lived with it for a long time. I really couldn't speak like I'm speaking now. I just froze and my mouth would dry up. I'm nervous now, but they have helped me. I mean, I would never been able to have done this before. And it's been a godsend to me. It's given me my life back.
Having both peer trainer and practitioner in the room is a perfect way to do it, because not only do you get to speak to the doctor or whoever the professional is, so get the sort of more textbook information and how it is seen from a doctor's perspective, but you get somebody who's actually been through this rubbish, to put it politely, experience, and that also makes it not quite so formal, which I think is so important for people who are suffering, because again, I mean, that can again put you off courses if you just feel, oh God, it's so formal, and you won't necessarily be as likely to open up as much. So there's a bit of both. You've got the professionalism and it's not personal, but it's almost personal. You feel like there's somebody there who really understands, and yeah, again, so you don't feel so alone.
Well, from the Recovery College, I'm now going to be doing volunteering for befriending. I've just got my CBR check back, and I'm going to a volunteer training in 2 weeks' time. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm going to be a befriender. So I'm really kind of excited, which is something I never thought was possible. It's the people as well as the actual learning, because it makes sense of what's been happening to you. You understand. You get periods when you start to learn and you think, God, that was me, and I have to walk out, because it's very kind of distressing. But then you go back in and then they teach you ways of coping. And that is so enlightening, you know, it gives you that hope that you never thought you had.
If you can learn about your illness, and that really, I think, supports you, empowers you to actually be able to take the steps that you need to look after yourself and to maintain your well-being, or to know a lot more about, choices, to have those informed choices, which I think is really, really important.
If I'm in a classroom and the peer trainer is someone with a lived experience, first of all, I look up to this person, and that is, to me, someone who is demonstrating good leadership, role modeling. Because what is lacking in us sometimes is the confidence to feel that you can do it. So if I look up and see someone who has lived the life I'm living and yet been able to manage it and come and stand before me to deliver a workshop to me, it only empowers me to know that I can be as them. So I think it's very important that you have people that have got experience, and also to have professional input as well, because then you have it both ways.
Critically, we are moving from a model that is about repair to a model that is about recovery. So these are radical shifts, and the Recovery College sits right at the very heart of that.
I think the work the Recovery College does, it's far bigger than the Recovery College.
It's about seeing each other as equal, about seeing everybody as people, about uncovering the person behind the job, the person behind the diagnosis.
The thing I love about working with the Recovery College is I'm making a difference to people's lives. I couldn't be in a job where I wasn't making a difference. I see people changing in front of my eyes and moving forward in their lives, and I feel that's down to working with professional trainers and people with lived experience.
For the first time in my life, I'm working on something that's worthwhile, something that's having a real and positive and inspirational impact on other people's lives. I'm thinking of getting 2 tattoos, one of the One True Religion, Manchester United, and the other of the SLaM Recovery College logo here.
I know when to ask for help when I need it. I know who to go to. I trust that people are not just going to look at me and label me because of the level at which they affect me. So I think it's important that we keep that momentum going.
Really, words don't express, so you don't understand how much Recovery College has meant to me, You really don't. I mean, I'm sweating like mad. I feel hot, because I'm still nervous. It's not going to go away, but you're teaching me ways to cope with it, and I would never have done this 3 months ago, not in a million years.
Recovery College is not just educating people like myself, but the population in general, because I'm not going to keep quiet about what I learn here, and I speak to other people. So that includes my friends and family, and then who will pass that information on. So it's not just helping me, but it's helping society as a whole.
I want the Recovery Colleges to expand right across the country, if not the world, because I feel it's really important.
My hopes for the future of the college is to keep it going. It's been such a great initiative which has been full of collaboration, full of hope, full of really interesting new initiatives, and hopefully it's a gift that we've given this organisation and all the people that kind of use it and work in it as a really great way forward.
I'm really proud of the Recovery College. I'm really proud to be working in an organisation that has a Recovery College of the quality that ours is, and I think it's fab, so it makes me smile.